You're listening to the Bombad Generals.
General? Oh.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Bombad Generals. It's me, Matt, here. I am with Seth. And
hello.
To continue our series on faction tier lists, we've brought in an Empire specialist all the way from Germany, Mr. Finn. Hello.
Hello. Was quite a trip.
Yeah.
Flew all the way to America for this.
This awesome podcast. Yeah, I heard a lot about it.
Heard a lot about it, but critically saying he hasn't heard the podcast, so that's fine. I was saying literally 1 minute ago before we started recording, people have already said Bombad General is very efficient. Now that we've got the Germans on our side too, we will be even more efficient. So
even
that's
more.
good.
Even more. Yeah, that's probably the right way to put it.
I almost mixed myself up on time zones trying to coordinate because I was like, oh yeah, 10 a.m. my time, noon for Seth, and then in my head I remembered noon for some reason. But I'm here, I'm awake, so that's all good. Finn, do you want to... I feel like I don't even know all your credentials because I'm less tuned into the tournament scene out in Europe. But do you want to brag for a moment? Just show people that you know what you're talking about with all your big tournament wins?
Nah, I just don't have to brag because like winning year round in Germany and Europe is like not a big thing.
All right, okay. Very humble.
He's so good. It's so easy.
I mean, I won like every UK tournament I was because UK players are shit.
Yeah.
So,
I like this.
It's nothing you need to brag about.
Even Eternal can win games in Germany, so really, it can't be that hard.
To be honest, I never saw Eternal on any tournament. Really. And I was on every tournament in Germany, and Eternal is not there. He's a ghost.
He's a ghost. He's a fake German or something. I don't know.
Fake German, there we go.
But wait, how far... You came out to Worlds at Adepticon this past year. You made what? A top 16 for that, right?
Yeah, it should be top 16, yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I wonder how that feels.
Yes, it was okay. I did a stupid mistake in top 16 and didn't get farther, so that's okay.
Yeah. But you were running Empire. Would you call yourself an Empire main, or what other factions do you play?
Nah, I play every faction. I just playing what's best at the moment.
Oh yeah, so an Empire main. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. So with AMG's like policy right now, it should be Empire all the way. Because hey, there's an Ewok release, right? Rebels only. Wait a second.
What if we also then release Tempest Force and invalidate it all? Yeah.
Gosh. So sad.
Do we want to get into it with the characters? Again, disclaimer, no bounty hunters because we've already tiered those, and no Jedi or Force users because we've already tiered those. So that takes out all 7 operative options for Empire and a couple of the commanders. But we'll give Finn his soapbox at the end to wax poetic about the pros and cons of the unmentioned characters.
Sure, it's like taking all the fun pieces, and just having like the rest boring Empire characters left, but it's okay.
There's a couple fun pieces in here.
But
yeah. It's when people think of what's great in Empire, it's not necessarily the non-bounty hunter, non-force users, for the most part. There's a few that we'll get to.
Okay.
All right.
And I might be surprised.
Since you are the guest, Finn, as we get this pulled up, here we go. Do you want to have the honors of choosing the first character that we discuss?
Do you want to start at a good rate or a bad rate?
Hey, you pick.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start. I'll start with the character I hate at most. It's like Moff Gideon.
Yes. Yes.
I would put him right. C tier or bottom B tier.
Oh, okay. You don't hate him as much as I do. I was gonna start banging the table for D tier, but I can accept C.
Yeah, he could be D tier, but he's so bad. But
It's real bad. Until we were talking about Worlds, until he saves like 15 in a row when he has 2 health left. Then he's awesome because he does have red surging saves at the end of the day.
Yeah, rolling dice is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, he wants to do so many things, but he's just bad on the table.
He's not really good at much, and for his price point, there's just so many better options, it feels like. I feel like people got excited about Ruthless when he was spoiled for extra action stuff, but it's pretty marginal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would
It's
be like
only
a totally different story when it's like, taking a suppression or something like that and getting free action. But like a wound is most of the time pretty bad. And in addition, getting the order face up on a core unit is pretty rare in Empire right now.
Yeah, and really it's not something you want to spam, so maybe it's only useful turn 6, but then you could just take someone who's going to do better for you over the whole game, and then you don't need that ability in turn 6, is my feeling. I think
It's true.
the one spot where I think Gideon is useful these days is single Dark Trooper lists. Double Darks, you don't care, you just push them forward or whatever. Single Darks, I think there's a spot for his 2-pip as far as finessing that Dark Trooper around because you don't have the overwhelming armor, but I don't think those lists are particularly great these days. Just because, everyone's bringing a lot of impact still. And one Dark Trooper will still die. And in Remnant, his own battle force. There's better commander options.
There is. Yes.
Hey, it's Becky. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seth, you put Gideon C? Is that what you're aligned with?
I put him in C, just because of his red surging saves. Like, what other commander has that? And then also his 2-pip for the darks. Like, that's only the reason I would bring him is for that. Plus, like, if you bring him with the Darksaber, he's kind of a good linebacker. Not great.
Not great. Not really great.
No, not great, but it's something better than nothing,
But if a Jedi's in my lines chewing me up and Gideon comes to hit me with the Darksaber, I kind of say, okay, cool. It does have Demoralize, I guess, which is useful. I don't know.
Yeah.
C is fine, I guess.
Yeah, I think he'd be better.
Okay.
He'd be better against like a Magna coming in your lines than like a Jedi or something, but it's better than nothing.
We mentioned Becky. Do we want to swap to the positive side and talk about the Imperial officer?
Yes, the All-Star.
The All-Star. I think.
Do we put her straight S tier?
I put her S tier.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like my whole thing is like, what list doesn't have? I know some people call her Becky. I call her Ruth because she's ruthless. What list doesn't? It does not include Ruth.
Not only that, which other faction wouldn't take the Imperial officer as their own instead of their own generic? Other than droids, I guess, because direct is so important.
Yeah.
I mean, Clone Commander's also pretty good for his points, to be honest. But
Yeah, Clone Commander,
for sure.
direct as well. That's fair.
yeah,
It is, but there's also like in Gar, there's also a lot better heroes than the Clone Commander that you want to bring because like Gar really shines with its heroes.
Yeah.
To where, like,
I mean, with the Imperial officer, just like it's not like these outstanding good. It's just these cheap and allows a lot this to happen, right? So you can
She's
speed
cheap.
up all the points and get aim tokens. That's nice. So it's all you need.
Yep. There's so many units in Empire especially, but even just core units that are just like, hey, take an aim and now you're feeling great, you know. Give an aim to Bosk, give an aim to Boba, give an aim to a shore trooper, a Pike. You know, put 58 for 58, you can have Binocs, and then give out 2 aims. Inspire 1, you know, if someone's in suppression trouble, it helps. Command slot for improv. It's just all around real solid.
Yeah, or just underworld connections for double bounty hunters.
Yep.
That's also okay.
And if not that, bring her with improvised orders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many options. Maybe I got that was too soon, but she's the generic. She's the boring one. So
Yeah. She doesn't have anything flashy, but she's like very consistent just because of the tools she brings. Because there's no like special like command cards that she would bring or anything, so not flashy but consistent.
Yeah, like the whole German efficiency thing, it's Becky.
Yep.
It's okay.
Yep. Oh man.
Seth, who's next?
Oh man. Well, let's go since we're going early waves. Let's go Veers.
Oh, okay.
So I personally ranked Veers as C tier. I don't know how you guys ranked him.
I was exactly the same. C tier for me.
Yeah, it's like he is the better Imperial officer, of course, but you don't get much for his more points, right? That's the issue. And yeah. And like his thing is. His gun is nice, his save is nice. Like he's better against bounty hunters because he's not as squishy. But otherwise, it's not like he's doing a ton.
Honestly, for the bounty hunters, 4 white saves versus 5 non-surging red saves isn't that like you're probably 2-shot. He's less one-shottable for sure.
Yeah.
Like 1 Boba rocket is probably not going to take him down. But yeah, compared to the Imperial officer, you're paying 20 extra points to get an extra command slot, which is like nice, I guess. 1 extra spotter and a gun that, let's be honest, the game has kind of passed him by.
Yes.
5 years ago, that was a fine gun. In 2023, it is a pea shooter. It's not really doing much at all. His command cards are
his
bad.
3-pip is really, really good.
His 3-pip is great.
For the recover, absolutely. Yeah.
But
His
yeah.
the 2-pip is tough because it's a vehicle-centric 2-pip, and the generic Imperial 2-pip is also vehicle-centric. So you don't really... It's not like you have a generic card you can swap in instead. You need another character, or you need to be running vehicles, which is a bit limiting.
And the generic 2-pip has a lot better, like, I think it's a better effect than Veers 2-pip. I think if the 2-pips, like, were swapped to where Pinned Down was now, like, a Veers specific one, I could see that being a little bit more valuable, just because Pinned Down is a very valuable command card when it comes to, like, running double darks or double ATST or something like that.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think like double command slot. Like back in the day, looking at double dark lists, you know, he is a consideration there because you can do improv and aggressive tactics, and in a shore list, I guess too, stuff like that. So he has and the free recover so that they can get their frag launcher back.
Yep.
But yeah, 70. Just save the 20 points. Put it elsewhere. That's almost a heavy weapon.
Unless you're running shores, like, oh lord, the shores are
Their
heavy weapons.
weapons expensive. Yeah.
Oh man, no.
Yeah, it's a tough spot for Veers. I mean, like he's just missing. Like his command cards are just outdated. It's how it is, and he's just missing like a rule to make him more special, like direct vehicles or something, to make him like having an effect that's nice to have. So, yeah.
I would love to see him and Leia get something in the next balance pass. I'm not holding my breath, but we'll see. Finn, who do you want to go to next? We've covered positive and negative, so we can go anywhere you want.
Yeah, okay, so doing next negative kind of, it's Krennic.
Middle management, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, probably C tier as well, like Veers. Like, he has some more use, but in general, I don't see him anywhere.
Yeah. I feel like between the two, Krennic's got better command cards. They're pretty similar in cost. I think Krennic is 5 points more, off the top of my head. Yeah, 75. They've both got the double command slot. Krennic brings cunning. He brings entourage with death troopers if you want to run death troopers. And his cards are just better. Like a cunning 1-pip with decent order control. That's kind of all it is. It's just order control, but on a cunning 1-pip, not bad. Deploy the garrison is a really good 2-pip.
Yeah, really good.
And then his 3-pip's kind of whatever. But like, there's a lot of good Imperial 3-pips that we'll get to even here. So he just has less support abilities. You lose Spotter. He doesn't really have anything to do on his own activation without Binox or more investment.
Yep, I'd agree.
Yeah. I mean, if Death Troopers were a better unit in general, then he would be better, probably. But like at this state, if you want a cunning 1-pip, you take Kallus. So that's not the point. And otherwise, like his 2-pip is great, of course. And with Dark Troopers, it's really, really good. But otherwise, he's too niche.
Yeah.
I'd agree. He's a great Dark Trooper commander just because of that 2-pip.
Yeah, once again, basically, if you're running a kind of a bland Dark Trooper list, Veers or Krennic, pick flavor to taste. And that's pretty much the only spot I've considered them in. The only time I've had them in a list builder in the last year plus that I've been playing Empire.
Yeah, I believe there's sometimes a spot when in Blizzard Force, when I have like 20 points just to spare, you can upgrade an officer to Veers. But
double the bombard.
Yeah, but it's not like I can also take just a bit and be fine as well.
I was about to say, how do you have 20 extra points in Blizzard Force? But then I realized, I guess that's part of Blizzard Force. It has 20 extra points. I just always bake it in as the bid, because it loves the bid. But yeah, makes sense.
Man,
I feel like we should get the Merc commanders out of the way before talking about the last couple. Let's go real negative. I've got another D tier here with the Vigo.
The Vigo.
We talked about it last week when we were looking at Separatists. Black Sun, I feel like, just don't have a great spot outside of Shadow Collective. So I don't see a world where I really like taking the Vigo. As we said, I'd say he's a worse bounty target than the Imperial Officer, even though he's got better saves. Just because he has to be closer to the action. He can't hide in the backfield like she can. Am I crazy? Am I crazy for being that low on the Vigo?
Not at all. To be honest, I see a role for Black Suns in Empire, but either way, I would never take the generic Vigo as a commander, because you don't need him. Like, the extra aim token has to be super close for the Black Suns to get them the extra aim tokens, and that's like danger zone. And otherwise, he's just expensive and not doing anything.
Yeah. And taking up a valuable slot, honestly.
Yeah, you can just take an Imperial Officer and hand out an aim with Spotter. It's kind of the same, kind of.
Yeah, because Empire, they are not lacking in aim support for any of their commanders, so...
No, well, and even fun thing is that the 3-pip, the generic coordinated fire, all the extra aims whenever it's just a friendly core trooper performs an attack. So it's not even a Empire core troopers. So that actually works pretty well, as we were saying, with Black Sun, in that they get a free aim, they can spend it, pass it along with that command card, because they don't have to. Oh wait, do you need a face-up order token?
No,
to do?
you don't.
I don't think you do, right?
No.
Yeah. I want to catch myself before I maybe said something wrong. Yeah, because it's just anyone. So you can order other core, whatever your shores, blah, blah, blah. Independent, Black Suns, pass aims along. They can do work without their Vigo around.
Yeah.
Wow.
Their supervisor can stay home. The subcontractors, they'll just come in and do the dirty work.
You take in Vigo, but just as a personal upgrade, so...
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Take the personnel, not the actual unit.
Yeah. And to be honest, I don't know when I last played Coordinate Fire and Empire.
It's a competitive slot.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. All right, Finn, where would you rank the Capo, the Pike Capo?
Yeah, I mean, Pikes are great, but Empire, I don't see Pikes played very often.
So you don't see them played very often. Is that because you don't think they're good, or like you just haven't seen them over there in the UK a lot?
I think they are good, but not in Empire. You don't need them in Empire. You can play around them, but nah, I don't see them.
They're awesome in Empire. You're crazy.
We got
commit to a letter grade, Finn, so I could argue with you.
Okay.
Where are you putting them?
In C tier as well.
No, I put them A tier. And here's why, I think. We talked about how good the bounty hunters are. I really like the combo of Imperial officer and the Pike Capo, and then use your operatives, which can be bounty hunters, could be Vader too, honestly. You can spotter onto the officer if you put binocs on the officer, you can inspire off a suppression off of the Capo that they got from aid. Then you can give them an aim, they pass it to their Pike buddy, and then you give the Pike buddy an aim too, and you can like get a mini boss shot with like a triple aimed Pike that goes last and hits hard. I think Pikes have gone downhill a little bit, so yeah, maybe B is a little more fair given the big dice pools of the meta these days. But like, I don't know, they feel so good. They're still so efficient. But yeah, when you have shore troopers, you don't need Pikes like other people need Pikes. That's fair.
It's true.
Is it the point? Like you don't, because you have to take your 3 core units, right? And core units are okay in Empire. And if you want to do a gun line, you have to invest anyway in the gun line. So, I mean, I could see like taking 2 shores, 2 mortars, and 2 pikes. That could be okay. But normally I'm just taking more fun stuff. Like having double bounty, a commander, or like bikes and stuff to do more fun things.
I like tabling people. That's pretty fun. But all right, yeah.
Or playing one of the doesn't good battle forces who all exclude pikes. So yeah, don't know.
So yeah, I do think the Pike Capo is like a better commander if you're bringing pikes than the other, like the Gideon, the Veers, or the Krennic. So like I think I'm okay with putting him at B tier. Just like I think he is a little bit more solid than them, brings a little bit more to the table.
Diplomatic, and only 50 points, right? So it's not like you're breaking the bank.
Only 48 points.
Oh right, yeah. They got the weird 3-point increase. Yeah,
correct.
That's right.
Yes.
Crazy.
So
yeah,
even
they
cheaper,
used to be 45. It was
even
wild.
cheaper than the generic Imperial officer. So that's the cheapest commander you can bring right there.
I mean, we'll get to Iden in a minute, but with the way Covert Ops works, you can also just take a Pike Capo and Iden and then Infiltrator, and then it doesn't matter that you don't have an Empire Commander anymore. But the list for that with Pikes and Iden doesn't really work, so it doesn't matter as much. That's more of a rebel trick.
Yeah.
Who do we want to go to next, gang? We've got two pretty, I'll say pretty decent options, but don't want to spoil too much. Iden and Kallus.
So we'll start off with let's go Kallus. We'll save Iden for last.
We have the two traitors left. Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
The best the Empire has to offer. Oh well. Yeah, Iden is good.
Iden's good, but Kallus. So Seth has thrown down the gauntlet on Kallus. Seth, where are you putting him?
I'd put Kallus in A tier.
Okay. Defensible.
Defensible. He's good. His bow rifle, like, being 5 points now. Like, max, he's coming out at like 90 points, or minimum coming at 90 points. He's got a really good 2-pip that can mess up a lot of people. Me as a Yoda player, I hate coming up against Kallus because I'm so afraid of that 2-pip because it can mess up my whole game.
Yep.
His 3-pip is decent. It's not great, but obviously it adds more rerolls to dice, which Empire loves. And then just a great solid 1-pip that, like what we were talking about, like Gideon, like, oh, we wish he could be like a better linebacker, where Kallus then brings that good linebacking slot with that 1-pip.
Does he really though? He becomes very tanky, but
yeah, he's tanky. He can get into a line pretty quick. Like just adding that extra move with agile and block, like, it's decent. It's great. It's A tier. Like, I think he's A tier. Again, like, you bring him mainly for his 2-pip, and also he's just a great, like, I think his card is good, like his unit card. Contingencies too, like, not a great keyword, but hey, it's a pretty useful keyword when you bring it. Also cunning, and his flaw card, like, practically does nothing to him because he's got 2 recovers.
I think you hit on a good point with his 2-pip. I think that for me is 100% the biggest reason to take it. He's like Han with change of plans, but he doesn't suck like Han does. Like, he's a very serviceable body. And I think 2-pip, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this, Finn, but I think 2-pip is kind of the weakest spot for Empire, generally speaking. Just like the really solid characters they have, Boba, Vader, Iden, like all of those guys, their 2-pips are kind of droppable.
You mean Boba Flamethrower is not the way to go?
I mean, I'm taking it over making his way these days.
That's
because it doesn't turn off his attack. The
2-pip slot is always like the slot. Okay, I can play around. I can take this or this card. It doesn't matter, really. So it's really nice to have Kallus with his really, really good 2-pip. Like, that's obviously the best card in his profile.
I think the move with him is you put his 1-pip in the contingency slot, because it's, I don't know, I think it's not necessarily, you probably have better options, but if you get into the situation where you need that cunning 1-pip, swap it in, use it, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, having like, and most of the time, like, C's with one of your bounty hunters or different characters. Like, when you have to go first with this character, you can play the cunning pip. That's like the backup plan when something went wrong.
It's great against Force users that like to go last first.
Yeah.
If you have something like C's, Kallus is gonna be awesome. If you don't have C's, then that's when the Krennic 1-pip is really good, because it can, it grabs essentially 4 tokens out of your bag, which is pretty helpful.
That is.
If you kind of need to, like, chance it. Okay.
Yeah.
I had Kallus in B, but I think you guys have talked me into A tier.
Yeah, A tier is a good spot, I guess. And he's just dirty sheep for what he does. Like, yeah.
Bim. All right, last but not least.
Definitely
Iden.
not least.
Definitely not least.
Yeah.
Well, I think Matt and I are kind of in consensus of where Iden will go. But I want to hear Finn. What does Finn think?
Okay. I mean, Iden was, like, for the most time of a playability S tier all along. But right now, she's unfortunately just A tier.
I think she's still S tier, but why is she just A tier for you, Finn?
I mean, it's not the meta for her, unfortunately. That's the reason. Like her sniper pling shots are okay, but not helping a ton versus like ATSTs. And it's okay. I mean, like it's okay versus clones, but yeah, you don't have like all the other range pierces you need as the rebels. So to get through the saves from the clones, that's a bummer.
Wait, what? You're saying no? You're saying rebels are better than Iden with an Iden list with the range pierce?
Yes, of course. I mean,
I
Empire
don't agree with that.
Empire snipers are terrible. I hate them.
Yeah, but when you have two aims and one of them has, and then a third one that has marksman on it with high velocity, because you're brigand with Inferno, then that's way better than what rebels are putting out.
Inferno is okay. It can be a trap, but
Oh my goodness. I mean, I like bringing guests on for different opinions, but this is sacrilege right here.
yeah, I mean, and with covered ops is like a bit bummer for her. She has to, because she normally has to infiltrate to get in the perfect position. And you have to take, of course, you want to take an Imperial officer anyway, but sometimes it doesn't fit perfectly. So, I'm not totally in love. I love Iden, but I'm not as much in love anymore.
She does suffer in a list where you're not taking her 1 pip, I think, because she's got the tack strike turn, which is awesome. And then after that, she's just kind of getting like 1 Pierce 1 through, which is nice. It's fine, especially when you supplement it, but it's not like when you have the Sharpshooter 2 card where you can easily get 2 pass cover once again. So, and I think these days you're probably taking her. I'm so high on her because Boba's amazing still, and she's a great pair for Boba. But he has 2 1-pips that are really good. So you don't take hers, and then you don't have the Sharpshooter. So
2 good 3-pips as well. So that's
yeah.
Yeah, I don't like pairing her with Boba, to be honest, because Boba kind of has not the same role, but a similar role in Empire right now. So, and Boba does most of it better than Iden.
Boba's good. Boba's real good.
Yeah, breaking news. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's shocked to hear this.
Yeah. But I mean, if we would have another really, really good Special Forces unit, then Iden's value would go up like a lot, of course. But right now we have just snipers and Inferno Squad. So,
Maybe one day when they buff Death Troopers some more, we can get Krennic Iden lists with quad Death Troopers.
and all doing Tech Strike turn 1, that's nice.
Tack strike to range 2, get the blast. Precise 2 with 2 aims. Let's go.
Seems pretty good.
I should. Now I want to put that together and just rock that in TTS at some point. Too bad Team League's over. That would have been a good one.
Hey, you don't have 4 Death Trooper units on your shelf? What's going on?
Strangely, I do not. Yeah, wild. I know.
Okay. It's interesting.
So, are we settling with Iden on A tier?
I'm good with that. Good with that.
Yeah.
We can cede to the expert.
The expert.
Why bring experts on if we're not going to listen to them?
That's true. I think a big weakness she has is not having a command slot.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that was very intentional with the design of her and Cassian for sure.
Which makes sense. It was a good balance. Yes.
I mean, if she would have been in the Tempest Battle Force, that would be a different story, probably.
Oh.
To be able, if you could take Iden Inferno and then all the Scout Troopers with snipers,
Yes, please.
that would be wild. That would be crazy.
Nah, I would be good with that.
Yeah.
Totally fun and balanced.
Yeah, your opponents, they would not be so good with that, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Who cares about them?
All right. Well, to recap, what we have in S tier is the Imperial officer, and then A tier it goes Iden Kallus. B tier is the Pike Capo, and then C tier we have Moff Gideon, Veers, and Krennic, and then in D tier we have the Vigo, the Black Sun Vigo.
I like it. We got a good spread.
Yeah.
There's a good spread.
So that's the boring characters. Is there anything we want to say about the boring characters before we let Finn go off about the more exciting stuff? All right, go for it, Finn.
Bounty hunters are good.
Okay, thanks everyone for listening. All right.
and Vader is good. Oh, breaking news. Yeah. Even with the Force choke nerf, he's good.
When it comes to bounty hunters, after Boba, I think we can agree Boba's probably the best. Are you an IG-88 guy or a Bosk guy?
And Empire, totally IG-88, 100%.
There we go. Now I like you again.
Ooh. Yeah, but Bosk is in CIS awesome, but in Empire it's totally IG-88.
I like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And what do you think about Operative Vader these days with the choke nerf? Are you still high on him?
I mean, he's still a very, very valuable piece, but the biggest issue is his build, was Blizzard Force. He was really, really good in Blizzard Force, and it's not the Force choke nerfs, just he's not anymore in Blizzard Force. So that's his biggest issue. And otherwise, I don't have any particular list right now to build him around. Pretty sad.
Wow.
I think just straight up Vader gun lines are still decent, but they're not like the S+ tier that they used to be. For sure. They got a lot. I think the Vader gun lines especially got a lot of efficiency from I can gunline better than you can because I'll just choke out all your heavies immediately. So now that you lost that, it's kind of just like it's a fair fight, and it's like
Yeah.
who does that?
So Finn, what would you say is an S tier list in Empire right now?
Oof. Every list that includes Boba, probably. Blizzard Force is still really, really good.
yeah.
Now Blizzard with Commander Vader.
ATST is also good.
Okay.
Yeah. It's boring but good.
It's like it's the two astronauts meme where they're looking at the Earth and the one guy's like, wait, Blizzard Force is good with ATSTs, and then the other guy's saying always has been.
Yeah.
It did not get hit too hard.
Yeah.
It's true, it didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's boring. It's boring as hell when you can play like Vader and you all can play ATST. It's like, man, Vader's so more fun.
Hey, this podcast is firmly in the boring is a factor in what we choose to play because that's why we put Yoda ahead of Anakin, even though we know Anakin's more efficient.
More efficient and consistent, but Yoda.
Yeah.
Man, when he goes off, he goes off. It's just
Yoda's always fun to play. That's true. And otherwise, Tempest Force is good. It's good. It's not S tier.
Would you do the double ATST or the triple ATST list?
I just played the triple ATST list and the 6 Sniper Scout list. That's the 2 builds I have played so far. And it's pretty good, and even was pretty surprised how efficient the triple ATST list can be when you play it like cautiously and don't just run into the face. Yeah,
Probably
that's
smart.
that's pretty annoying for a lot of when you just like dance around range 3 to 4 and just annoy the enemy impact weapons to get the range they need. It's pretty good. So
I had a similar experience, funnily enough, with Dark Troopers, everyone's favorite unit.
Yes.
Obviously, you know, much like ATSTs, when you shove them in your opponent's face, that can be awesome and annoying. But as you say, it can also be annoying when you play cagey with them and very effective. You know, when a naked rebel trooper is running away with a box, you can probably gun them down. When it's a full armor red save unit with like 8 health left running away with a recover the supplies box, that's a lot more tough to chip down. So similar experiences there.
yeah. And I like that you have like this with Major Marquardt, like the command cards that give extra moves. That's like super good.
He seems awesome. I haven't gotten a chance to test him out.
Yeah. And funny story, and I brought the 6 sniper list the day I know I have to play our clone player, so that was nice.
That's nice.
That was a fun day for everyone.
But the clone
Was
player
it?
too?
Well, yeah.
Well, I guess so. It's always a fun playing with a game with me.
Oh,
So-
there
Oh,
you go.
there you go.
There's that humility coming out right there.
I mean, they can just choose to play Empire, I guess, if they want to have a chance.
They're Proto Empire.
They
They're doing fine for themselves.
Yeah. Well, Finn, thanks so much for joining us. Do you have anyone you want to shout out or any plugs you want to give?
Well, I myself have a podcast in German, so if you understand German, so please listen to Alderaner Wochenschau. And I have
Alright.
also a YouTube channel where I do battle reports on German. That's
Nice.
Death Trooper Wargaming, so maybe do that as well.
Send us along the links. We will put them in the description of this episode so
Yeah.
people can go find it.
Yes.
And if you don't know German, still listen and use
And
that
learn
to learn German. Yeah, exactly.
Easy enough.
Seems easy. Well, thanks
Awesome.
for listening to the Bombad Generals. Make sure to bring Ruth, the Imperial officer, in your Emperor list, and make sure to always stay Gungan.
This has been the Bombad Generals.
Listening to Bombad Generals is not scientifically proven to make you a better Legion player. Side effects may include bad dice rolls, missed triggers, aim losses, bankruptcy, divorce, vomiting, and sudden death. Ask your doctor if Bombad Generals is right for you.